Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle Debate Podcast Top 5 Picks of the Week. This is for week number 34. Because hopefully you guys enjoyed the Christmas special that you guys saw this past week. And we had an incredible time with all the podcasters, with our brothers from another mothers that we love very much. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And don't forget, we still have our wager that we had for the Royal Rumble, all right? Don't forget. We still have that $5 wager if you guys are watching this. That's right. So the is what I see here, the host. I'm here with my brothers from another mothers. I am with Chef. He's walking with Elias. He's outdoors He's outdoors right now, cooking some prime ribs. He's still on the Christmas, in the Christmas spirit, still cooking, and that is Mr. M.
You can hear the grill crackling right now. You hear the popping.
There you go.
Beautiful sunshine, beautiful, here in sunny California.
That's right. With Mr. MGC Matthew Steamboat. What you cooking there, buddy?
I got some prime ribs on the grill, prime ribs and beef ribs.
Show the people.
I can't believe the missed opportunity of this entire wrestling podcast is if you smell what the mat is cooking.
You could see me getting my wood chips ready right now.
Oh, nice. That's the way to do it right there, wood chips.
Oh, my God.
Do you guys mind if I just continuously do this on camera? Do you want me to leave it on food view rather than face view?
We like face view, bro. I'm hungry. I don't want to be fucking looking at
Yeah, because I don't want to get food. You're going to be hungry, bro. Don't want to do that. And, of course, we have the one and only. He is the one and only Matt himself. Okay, yes.
I need to get a broom. I have a broom. I could just be like the sweeper instead of the cleaner.
He's the sweeper, not the cleaner. That's the one and only CK1 Chris Kennedy. And also we have the heroes of all heroes. That he's saving us as much as possible from retribution. Unfortunately, trying to add a Ricochet, which do not happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. And
not
also,
on my watch.
Exactly. And actually gave us a wonderful Christmas. That's the man with his presence, with his presence, with a flexing for you, giving us that 12-inch pythons that he always gave to the world, to the people. He gives the people what they want as well. Courtesy
you have to. You have to give them what they want. There's no other option.
That's right.
Vince McMahon needs to learn that. Yes.
That is the great American hero, Mike Lopez, ladies and gentlemen.
Great to be here.
That's right. As we're still in the Christmas spirit, as we see everyone else, Matt's cooking, which you'll see him on and off in the video right now. But yes, our top 5 picks of the week, ladies and gentlemen, is our top 5 best moments in the Attitude Era. So this is a finale of the 2020 of top 5, and we're coming in fresh next year with new ideas for the new top 5, which we will reveal that on the upcoming show for that week of January. And Mr. Great American Hero will explain how that works pretty soon when that episode comes out. So make sure you tune in. He'll explain it very, very details. So let's go ahead and start this off, gentlemen. I would like to go. I want to hear Mr. MGC, even though he's cooking. But hey.
Yeah, just as the fat on my prime rib starting to sizzle down and drip into the wood. So I'll tell you some of my moments. So I remember anytime The Godfather would come out, that would be my number 5. That was such a fun gimmick, and it was it was kind of wrong because I was only like maybe 11 when I first saw it, and I didn't really know who the characters were.
Yeah.
So I went over to my friend's house. And it's like, oh, Matt, look at this. It's censored. And I'm like, oh, my God. It was like the Attitude Era was so, kids like me watching it at that time. Number 4, anytime in a Buried Alive match, Austin, you're going to face Undertaker in a Buried. And then we even there was all these parody remix videos of that, in a Buried Alive match, and there's like a remix of that too. Number 3, anytime the New Age Outlaws come out. Oh, you didn't know?
Yo, ass better call somebody. Hey, I heard Brian Armstrong's going to AEW. That can be covered next week.
Ooh, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel. Was he like the main booker? Because I know he was on the writing staff, and I'm just hope he's not responsible for all the from WWE.
I know he's kind of a renaissance man backstage. I don't know his exact. I know he's a producer, but I know he trains at the PC, and then he also does scripts, and he also does characters. So I think he's kind of like the go-to for most ideas. Anyways, number 2. That's a good. I like that so far. I like that it's like just every time, the Godfather or New Age Outlaws, because that's just the whole Attitude Era right there.
So I'd say this is completely related. I'll show you guys what I'm doing because it's related to my next pick. So I'm trying to ignite. I'm trying to ignite some wood chips and get them to burn.
So you're getting a tutorial on how to cook in Circle Debate. You get it all.
Oh yeah. So I'm trying to get this to burn. And who else burns things more than Kane? So we got. So we got the set on fire match where it was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kane, the set myself on fire match. So if I lose, I will set myself on fire with the talk box. So that's my number 2. Number 1 is probably going to be Stone Cold beating Shawn Michaels and beginning that Attitude Era.
Okay.
14.
That was the very beginning, Stone Cold just kicking it off, right there. Oh yeah, there now it's burning up, smoking up more.
Any honorable mentions by far?
Honorable mention, I'd say Iron Man match, Triple H versus The Rock.
That was when Undertaker came back, right? We talked about that one.
I believe so, yeah.
That was Judgment Day, right? He came back on Judgment Day? Okay.
Yeah, the Triple H and The Rock facing each other for the and Iron Man. Their rivalry was, your Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper of like the late 90s, early 2000s, but everybody was loving on. And of course, I think number 1 will probably be TLC 1 for the honorable mentions, because Mike, I hold it in high regards, and Mike holds it in high regards.
Absolutely.
Well, do you consider the one, the first TLC, I think it was WrestleMania 2000, right? That was the first one ever.
Triangle ladder match.
Yeah, but that was technically a freaking TLC though. But I get you though. But
I think he's referring to SummerSlam, no?
Yeah.
They always find a way to use chairs and tables, though. So.
Okay. All right. I love it. Now, let me go ahead. I'll start it off. Since you got me, you got me there, man. I have to agree with Matt on this one. Yes, the rivalry between The Rock and Triple H is my number 5. I love it. It was a great rivalry, especially the back and forth. From even the Nation Domination DX rivalry to as a group, and then now as individuals, as they grew within each other, for their careers and their characters. I loved it. So that's a great moments from both of them that they provide. I love it. My number 4. My number 4 would actually be my number 4 will be the debut of Mankind. Actually, and then when he won the championship, I think that was the one that really got to me when that one. How Tony Schiavone spoiled. Oh yeah, don't tune in another channel. Yeah. Mick Foley won the WWF championship, and then Mick Foley, and then I was happy for him. The whole character, Mick Foley was introduced, and then the best one on that, just adding to it, was the first time ever, to The Rock, especially to The Rock, this is your childhood past with his former coach, his ex-girlfriend.
You know the This Is Your Life.
This is your life
Best
segment.
rated Raw segment in the history of all time ever, and that's just a fact. Yeah.
I love that. That one like was another one. That's why it's more Mankind's career, especially in the Attitude Era. Number 3 would actually be the Ministry of Darkness, especially how the Undertaker, his first one was, Phineas Godwin, and the way how he did it was like so eerie. I was just like, he tortured him, and then he just became medium, and then it was just, I loved it, and then especially with him and Austin, the feud with Austin, and then the time he was going to marry Stephanie, and then Austin came out. I loved it. It was incredible. The whole Ministry of Darkness. I love that group, and I love how they did it. And it was just so eerie, and I was so, as a teenager, I was really pissed off. Like, fuck, man. Like, no, because I was a big Austin fan at the time.
I hated the conversion of the Ministry of Darkness, or the corporate ministry. I hated that. When they did that, I was like, too much. Yeah. I'd like to have seen the Ministry versus corporation as like the big feud. But when they combined,
it's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
That was overkill, and it didn't make any sense. So.
I agree with you.
Is what it is.
Yeah. Speaking of corporation, I actually did. That's my number 2. I love that. I love the corporation moments, even though it pisses me off. But I loved it without Taker. To be honest, without Taker, how you said
that original form, and I can name every member of that faction of both of them. But yeah, that original version of it was pretty dope.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, I enjoyed it. I did not, especially with the feud with Austin. See, Vince had to go ahead and do all the creating this faction just to make sure that Austin doesn't get a championship belt or just ruin his fucking life pretty much. And I loved it, and how they were running the show. I love that one. And my number 1, the best moment for me in the Attitude Era was when Stone Cold Steve Austin showed up at the hospital and beat up Vince McMahon.
With the bedpan.
Well, I'll take it from here, nurse.
Wait, no. Oh my God, I love it. That was like my favorite one overall. To this day, I can still watch it and laugh about it, especially with that bedpan when he hits him. From there, it sold me. I would not stop laughing. Just keep watching the video. I love that segment. Like, that's my favorite, best moment of Attitude at number 1. Now, my honorable mentions, I would say, I actually love the Jericho moments. Especially how Jericho and Stephanie moments, let the bodies hit the floor, let the boobies hit the floor. Like, it was just, and I love how Jericho did not hold back and went all on full gear on Stephanie. Like, shit, yeah. I loved it.
I know that he came up with a catchphrase for her, but I forget which one it was. I don't know if she was
bottom feeding. What was it? Bottom feeding.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I gotta look that up because that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Jericho, Stephanie, bottom feeding. Hopefully Google figures this out for me. You guys keep going. Don't wait for me. Here we go. Filthy, dirty, disgusting, bottom feeding, trash bag hoe. That's what it was. Fuck yeah. Thank you, Urban Dictionary.
That's right.
I'm off the internet, bro. Yeah, that was great.
Hell yeah. That was like another great Attitude Era moment, especially. And my other honorable mention would be the best Attitude Era was, when it was against Stone Cold. That beer truck coming in and just spraying the Rock, Vince, and Shane. I loved it. I never thought they could actually put a truck in the arena like that. That was the first time I ever seen it. And then remember how he was trying to drink the beer like off of the big ass hose, but he couldn't do it because it was just too much. But I mean, I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I hate to say, Austin was number 1 in the Attitude Era, but also with The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, Mick Foley, Kane. Man, we can name them all. The New Age Outlaws. All of these guys. If it wasn't for them, we would not have love for the Attitude Era. Now we do, But yes, definitely. That was my other honorable mention. Let's go ahead and Mr. Hero. The floor is yours.
What a cast of characters existed back then, man. It was so many memorable legends. There are legends now, and yeah, such great times. I hope to hopefully relive or something close to it in the near future. Number 5. Let's see. When Val Venus got his choppy pee-pee cut off, it's just such a hilarious moment. It faded to black right when the sword was coming down, and I forgot the character's name, the dad or whatever, the Asian dad.
Yeah, I know.
Yamaguchi-san.
Yeah, him. He made a demonstration on stage with something there, cutting it off.
A sausage.
Because Dick Togo was in that scene.
Yeah, Dick Togo, it was Taka Michinoku, it was Terry Boy, and fucking who's the guy that's announcing? He announces Japanese pay-per-views.
Funaki.
There you go. Thank you. Covered it. That's
SmackDown, number 1 announcer.
That's right.
Number 1.
Indeed.
So that's number 5. Number 4 also involves Val Venus, and there was this little segment from GTV where they were in the restroom and Big Show comes along and they started peeing, and then Val Venus turns over and says, "So you call that the Big Show?" Like, oh my goodness. There you go. That's the number 4 right there. Hilarious. Number 3 is Mae Young giving birth to a hand. It's like, what? How? It's just so ridiculous, over the top, and it was awesome. As a 13-year-old Mike, I just laughed my ass off at that.
Yeah.
Let's see, number 2, something a little bit less comical, I guess, was Chris Jericho's title win that never happened.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
What? Yes.
Yeah.
What a night that was. Talk about having something keeping you glued to the TV throughout the entire night. Y2J wins the title via a fast count. Triple H comes out, reverse that wasn't fair, and then it ends up being reversed. And so many intertwined storylines there. You had Triple H versus refs.
APA were used to I love that.
Yeah.
Accolades Protection Agency. Earl Hebner had used them had hired them to keep Triple H away from him. It was great writing right there. Awesome storyline. And my number 1 moment of all of the Attitude Era moments is that moment when, during the invasion, where everybody, Team WWF is getting beat up or whatever, and McMahon wants the old Stone Cold back, and then glass shatters, the crowd goes wild, out comes Stone Cold and stuns everybody. Sheesh, the chills, right now, my goodness, just thinking about that moment. That number 1, just all the way. Great moment. And of course, it only lasted about a week or so because he turned on the WWF anyway and went with the Alliance. But regardless, that for me, it doesn't take anything away from that moment. And number 1. Nice.
Honorable mentions. I have Bubba Ray Dudley continuing to want to put Trish Stratus over a table. That's that little storyline there. I found pretty entertaining. And eventually he did it. I forgot when he did it, but eventually it happened. And when it did, it was like it was pretty cool.
I wonder why you love that one, huh? You naughty little boy.
I like putting people through tables. I would not mind putting Retribution all at once.
Hell yeah. On top of the Hell in a Cell.
Just not
Right?
again and again and again and again and again.
There
Nothing
you
is
go.
over. Nothing.
And my second honorable mention is the Rock and Austin beer bus, or beer truck, I should say.
Yeah, that was
So that was cool moment. I liked anything that involved Austin and a vehicle, whether it was the Camaro being destroyed by the cement or the Zamboni or anything like that. Austin and vehicles was magic in the WWF. So, great moment there.
I love it. I love them, man. Yeah, definitely. And you know what? You reminded me about the Bubba Ray and Trish Stratus. I forgot about that storyline when it was TNA versus the Dudleys when they were feuding.
Yeah.
I forgot about that storyline. Actually, it wasn't bad. I actually did enjoy those matches between them four. Yes, you naughty boy. I know why you chose that one because of Trish.
There you
I
go.
know you. All right. The one and only. The floor is yours.
All right. Dope. So my list comprises of absolute attitude moments that you probably could not pull off in the at least ruthless aggression era. I did see a news article that USA is now demanding adult content only from WWF. So hopefully my previous statement about these only existing in the attitude era is about to be false. But these are just the wackiest and most iconic moments that did and could have only happened between the years of late 97 to early 2000. Number 5 is the Luna versus Sable evening gown match.
Oh my God. I forgot about that shit.
Sable was the first, I don't know what words to use, real mega sex symbol in pro wrestling, I would say. Yeah, I can't think of anyone before her who, I mean,
there was Sunny, but
yeah, but I mean,
she was on.
Did Sable do Playboy before Sunny did?
Did Sunny did Playboy?
She did not. No.
No. It was Sable, Chyna, and Tori Wilson.
Yeah,
I would have made sure about that.
There was one more after that.
And then if you want to go offshoot, like Ariana Celeste from UFC and so on. No, but yeah, Sable was the first. I think she did it before Chyna. I don't want to fact check. But yeah, she was the first mega scantily clad thong on TV on at least major networks. And that match was, I think, one of the first. It probably wasn't the first evening gown match, but it's definitely the most popular. It definitely jump-started that whole puppies era.
Puppies!
Puppies! Oh my God, it's puppies! Number 4 was late into the Attitude Era, and I think Matt covered this, but it was the first TLC match between the Dudleys, Hardys, Edge, and Christian. Set the precedent for TLC matches in WWF. Obviously, they were much better and more often in ECW, but this was a bigger crowd, a bigger audience, and it got the kids involved, and every match after that's just been chaotic. Yeah, fantastic match. You can watch that any day of the week, and it still compares to even modern television. Number 3 was Austin shoots Vince McMahon in the fucking head with a gun.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
How violent and how aggressive was that? I mean, people were cheering it. People, I mean, wanted to see it happen and were almost disappointed that it said bang at the end of the mock gun. Like, people were savages back then, dude. That era, the Attitude Era, just gave zero fucks.
I fucking love you for that because you're very fucking true on that. even I don't know if you guys will agree, but even with me, I was like, no way. Like, Austin, no, please. Like I was really into
actual murder, and we were cheering for it. What is wrong with us? That is definitely a sign of the times, for sure.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that shit.
Number 2 is, I think, as far as I remember, it was certainly off script, and I think it's what kind of got her fired. But when the cat went full-blown naked during that, I don't know if it was a mud wrestling match or if it was just a evening gown situation. But the cat actually took her clothes off and was like full-blown naked, and Jerry Lawler had to fucking scramble to cover her. I think that's what led to her getting fired, and then Lawler quitting, and then they getting a divorce, and then Lawler getting rehired. That is peak Attitude Era. That sentence alone is outlandish and iconic. My number 1 is the DX invasion of WCW. We talked about it in length in the previous podcast, but it was definitely, I think, just accompanied everything that the Attitude Era was. They were out for blood versus WCW. They figuratively and literally fired the first shot. Showing up to the WCW offices down in Georgia, I think it was Atlanta. You had WCW fans outside cheering with them, which was a sign that things were definitely swaying in, if not the DX favor, the WWF favor. It was the first time that they openly talked about WCW, made reference to a rival promotion. I loved it. I couldn't believe they were doing it. I love that version of DX with the Outlaws and X-Pac and China. It was great. I think that right there was one of the last downfalls of WCW. Like that was like Austin having the title, Vince turning heel, but this was like the last thing that like really just kicked it off and said we're going to war, which is why they were in a tank dressed up like they were going to war. I remember that like it was yesterday, and it was 22 years ago. Fuck, man. My two dishonorable mentions have been mentioned before for very good reason, and that is the Mae Young gives birth to a fucking hand. What the fuck was happening there? I don't know who wrote that. I don't hope. That seems like a Vince thing to me, man. I don't know.
It could be
Might have been Russo. Might have been Russo.
What should have been Bruce Pritchard, most likely.
Might have been, yeah. And then cut to what was it, like 20 years later, where like the hand shows up fully grown at the Hall of Fame or some shit like that. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then the second one, obviously, is the Val Venus Kaientai circumcision moment where, yeah, just bad. They brought in John Wayne Bobbitt as the hero, even though he's like a domestic violence, wife raper, porn star, not someone you want to represent your promotion at all. I mean, imagine if that happened today, so many things would be canceled. Yeah, just dark times in the Attitude Era. They were definitely throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, and this did not. Figuratively, literally.
He didn't hold back. He allowed it.
Yeah, I mean, they were basically just throwing everything they could think of.
Well, yeah,
a lot of it worked. I mean, here we are talking about it today, 22 years later.
Very true, sir.
But yeah, if most of the things that we just talked about happened today, you would have so many. What are they?
Ratings.
You would have ratings. I think you would have social justice warriors just hitting the cancel button on every segment left and right, which I don't agree with that culture when it's in good fun. But like the John Wayne Bobbitt thing, that was a bit much in retrospect. Yeah. But yeah, I'm all about the puppies, so I was cool with that. I was 14 years old. Hell yeah, man. That is my list. Those all those things, they stand out. Like they definitely like were like bullet points of if you were to show someone how insane the Attitude Era was, show somebody any one of our lists and they'll be like, what did I miss? You missed so much. It was rated R without the it was Skinamax for sure. It was Showtime era porn. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know what we did forget to mention? I don't know if you guys love that moment, was with DX dressed up as the Nation of Domination.
Oh, so racist. So racist. Blackface deluxe, dude.
Blackface.
Oh my god, it was
Why hasn't that been brought up? My goodness.
I think that
Owen Face too.
I think they're dodging.
X-Pac.
They're trying to bury it. Triple H, all of them. Yeah, I think they're trying to make sure that shit don't come up because people have been canceled for worse or less, not worse.
Well, I mean, nowadays, right? But you know,
Holy crap.
but if I go back,
going back in the archives and looking for shit to bring up, you know, like I mean, I'm not trying to harp on something we talked about with Steve Bryant, but the Excalibur thing was like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
people brought that. People came, they dug up that dirt. They brought that back. People are still harping on Booker T, and he is of the race with which that is. It may not be in good taste, but more accepted.
Right.
You know, is what it is. I don't have any opinions about it. That's not my subject matter.
Right. Same here.
But yeah, people are definitely. I mean, there are people that are actively going to look up things just for decancellation, which is super fucked up because you know people change and times change. I think this is one of those things that they're literally. I think it's probably been deleted from the network. I hope you can probably still find it on
YouTube though. I could find it easily.
Oh yeah, you can find anything on YouTube. You can find anything on fucking anyone. I'm just talking about corporate sponsored programming.
Even I've forgotten about it, and
Until right now.
Yeah.
It's
That one, and don't forget when they dressed up as the corporation. That was another one too.
I'll say the funny thing about it is the only one who of the Nation of Domination that was angry and got revenge was Owen Hart. Owen Hart's the only one who showed up and beat up like his impersonator.
Oh,
He's like the only white member.
Yeah, I remember that guy. That guy played a lot of different characters back. He was kind of like the James Ellsworth or the Gilbert. He played Owen Hart, and then he played a couple other people.
Shawn Michaels.
He played Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People don't remember that the Nation of Domination wasn't originally a African American militant group. It was just a mixed race faction. It was DOA and Farouk. It was like, it was just a biker gang essentially. And then
the Rock got leadership.
Yeah, and then it became,
know your role.
Yeah, man, just weird shit going on back then. I kind of miss it. I am very interested to see what USA talks Vince into doing. I don't know if there would be what the second era of Attitude would be. I'm very curious to see what happens, but I like that. I like hearing that USA is kind of fed up with some things going on, and they almost, I think the headline was demands adult content. I mean, it's their network. If they want to allow it, they want to allow it. That's cool with me.
See, the thing is also that, okay, their WWE is aiming this at kids. If it's aimed at kids, then might as well be a Saturday morning show, right?
It has been. I remember the Saturday morning was really terrible.
So, it's Monday nights at night. So might as well put some adult content in. Well, maybe not like adult content in there, but
they always mix up, confuse, or forget that it's still violence. It's simulated violence. Like there's an old joke many people have where you can watch a rated R movie and there's people getting shot in the head, heads getting cut off, people swearing. But the moment they show a titty, that's too much. Like, which one is really worse? Is it Mae Young getting put through a table, or is it a woman in a thong? Like,
it was a point Larry Flint made back in the day because he was talking about like war movies.
I love that you know this. Preach.
Yeah. Yeah, he used it in The People versus Larry Flint. He used that whole clip, the whole segment of like warfare and bloodshed, as opposed to nudity and sexuality where nobody's getting killed and people are still in one piece. And then, you show kids from a very early age, you expose them to that. So
there was a senator in, I believe, that particular trial who was testifying, I think, against Larry Flint and the
Jerry Falwell, the preacher.
No, I think this is actually like a person in law. And his quote specifically, and it makes so much sense, is I can't define pornography, but I know it when I see it. And I'm like, that makes sense because like what is absurd to me is not absurd to you. And that pornography doesn't necessarily mean it be sexual content. It just means what is absurd by definition of the observer. And I would rather my kid maybe, I don't know, see a scantily clad female than most of the stuff that I saw in the Attitude Era violence-wise. I mean, Austin bleeding during the Bret Hart match, that was graphic, way more graphic than the evening gown match. So it's a weird spectrum of feelings of what is defined as adult content.
Right. I agree with that 100%. I don't know. It's just weird times, man. Like especially right now with this current era. I mean, yes, it's going to change, and how you said it, how you mentioned earlier about, now that the networks are looking for better. They want the product to be better. They want more TV 14. A little bit more above content, so they can get viewers. I don't think it's going to happen.
18 to 34 demographic. That's who they're. 18 to 34 is consenting adults. That's what the target's aimed at. If you let your kids watch this program, that's on you. That's your bad. That's not the network's bad.
It should be in bed at 8, but just go to sleep. You have school tomorrow.
Were we in bed by 8? We were all about 13, 14 during that era.
Oh,
We stayed
I
up
was.
till 11
Sometimes.
because Raw was 3 hours and we loved it.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true.
And also the thing is that, you know, in the Attitude Era, you had Rock and Austin, right? You had the top players there, and they're gonna need they're gonna need somebody to lead this. It can't just be, you know, adult content or whatever. There has to be someone that they could build this around. They built it around Austin. Rock was there, right place, right time. You know, there's gonna have to be that person or people to lead. You know, and if this is gonna be successful,
He's gonna be the. I mean, Roman Reigns is a violent heel, but I don't see him being raunchy or inappropriate. So we need
Randy Roman. Come on.
Are you kind of speculating on who would be like that person, that inappropriate character?
Yeah, I could say who. And I think if they give him that opportunity again to be in a main event level because of his charisma, the way how he speaks on the mic, it's Kevin Owens. If you put Kevin Owens, I guarantee you that they're able to do it.
Yeah.
Because the way how he's done it before, when he first had title run, he did a great job for me. I loved the fact that he was pissing people off. And I loved it. And he can do it. As a face, he can do it as well. He's done it as a face too. And I'm right behind him, you know. So I would choose Kevin Owens to lead that show, or at least for Raw at least. So go ahead. Go all balls out. Say what you have to say and do it. And then I think he'll do a great job. I think he can lead when it comes to viewership on Raw or SmackDown. That's how I feel about it.
I think Ziggler as a heel could do it too.
Yes.
I think if you let Ziggler, I know you mentioned earlier that they're trying to bury him at a spite for Bruce. Is that what it was? Like
for Pat Patterson.
For Pat Patterson. Well, now that he's no longer with us, hopefully that game is ended. But let Dolph be like the rated R superstar, I guess you would say. Being just like, I guess, sexually inappropriate, where, you know, Kevin Owens could be the awesome character who's just more of a violent tough guy. I think that would be a great Attitude Era to do like that. Oh man, I'm already my panties about Ziggler versus Owens as a new Rock versus Austin. Holy shit, dude! Let's do that.
I love that. Hell yeah.
I like that a lot. I think Ziggler could do it. Ziggler's great, man. He's just not. They don't know what to do with how great he is. Like, he's too great to be used because that is.
Yeah, like the Miz as well. The Miz could, but the problem with Miz is he's already burned out.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Everybody has to.
That's what his fault. Miz is great. It's just not his fault.
Yeah, it's not his fault. He's just told what to do. And don't get me wrong, he does a great job he's a great job on the mic. He's a great heel. I love him as a heel. He sucks to baby face, but he's a great heel. But he's just overrated now. It's just like the fact is that you put him every week, and I get it. You should put him every week so you can see how the viewership. But the storylines that he's on is not working. It should be something more, how you said, like more aggression, more like when he first became. I think when he first won the championship, I loved it. You know, so I mean, there's something there you could do with Miz as well. How you said about Ziggler. Imagine, bro, they're best friends. Imagine having Ziggler, Morrison, and you know, the Miz. Who else? I mean, if they would have brought Matt Cardona back, there you go. That could have been.
I know that she's at home right now, but I love Maurice a lot. Maurice is one of the best characters in that role. I don't think she's coming back like at all.
Nah.
Obviously, it's either going to be her or Miz. Someone's got to stay home.
Yeah.
So maybe put Lana in there. I don't know. That's a whole different thing, though. That's a whole different list.
So let's wrap it up.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Matt wants to put that sausage in his mouth.
In a minute.
Well, he's getting his prime rib ready, yes, so he's almost there. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the last top 5 picks of the week of 2020. Like I said, we will introduce the new way how we're going to do the top 5. And so, so we're now going to mention which is the next one. We're going to mention that on episode 35. So this was week 34, week 34 of the last top 5 of the week. But coming up on the new episode of 2021, well, actually, no, not 2021, actually of 2020, the last episode, which is episode 35. this coming up Wednesday, we'll be releasing that. Just go ahead and discuss about pro wrestling news and our best moments of 2020 in pro wrestling that we're going to talk about, the good and bad. So that one's on the top 5. We can go like 10 or more, like how Mike said, the previous one, 10, definitely. So don't forget to tune in, ladies and gentlemen. This upcoming week for the episode 35, we'll be discussing that. So from us to you, enjoy your holiday weekend. Keep enjoying it. And from us here to all of you guys, we wish you a happy new year and enjoy your holiday weekends. Once again, this is the DB's1 Ivan C. And all along with my brothers, I'm with Mr. Cook over there. Along with he and Bobby Flay, I'm okay. You better not be, the chili sauce, man. The chili sauce. Chili oils. All chili. Don't oil yourself with chili, man. No, we don't want to see that. No. That's right. That's Mr. MGC, the cook himself. Mr. Elias Macastino, the dragon. And also we have the 3D man. The 3D man with the one and only. See people like this, he's gonna come into
3D.
I will see you guys in a year or next year. I don't know. It's like 9 days from now, so it's all good.
That's right. That's Mr. Chris Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. Also, the hero. That's right. He is a real American. He's the real American with the 12-inch pythons that flexes for you. You get?
No.
You call that the bitch? That is the great American hero, Mike Lopez. As we're all telling you, we bid you do good night. Well, no, good day. And
it is like 11 a.m. over here in America.
Yes. Good day and goodbye. See you next week.